Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Every day, there are countless books and articles that are published offering the key on how to make your business a success. It's easy to feel overwhelmed trying to keep up and run your business. That's why Deb Creer created the Business Power Hour. Keep up on the latest trends, best practices, and techniques for how to make your business a success. Let the Business Power Hour do the heavy work for you.
Good morning. Good morning. I am Deb Creer, and I am passionate about giving professionals the tools that they need to make themselves and their businesses as successful as possible. And I am so excited about today's guest because we're going to be talking about finances and how to really make sure that you have the financial freedom to do what you want. And I think it's really important to be talking about this in December because we all make those New Year's resolutions, right? We're going to be making some based on talking with this young man that we're going to keep. So we're going to have such a great discussion today. So please join me in welcoming Dapo Willis to our program today. Welcome, Dapo. How are you?
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. Thank you for having me, Power Hour. Thank you.
I love it. Well, let me tell people a little bit more about you, and then we will jump into this.
All right, let's get it cracking.
All right. So today we are so privileged to delve into the captivating journey of Dapo Willis. He is a hedge fund manager with over $150 million of assets under management. His story spans continents and industries, beginning with a transformative move from Nigeria to England at the age of 14, driven by a quest for a better life. Over 12 years, Dapo has not just built a multi-million-dollar hedge fund management, but he has also made successful forays into coaching, e-commerce, and public speaking. Dapo's narrative is a living testament to the potency of determination and the right mindset to achieve success. Join us as we explore his early challenges, delve into the mindset principles crucial for financial success, and glean insights from the lessons he learned on his remarkable journey. So again, Dapo, welcome.
Thank you. Wow, that's I didn't know that much about me.
It's always fun when we have our bios read. We're like, "Ooh, that sounds fun," right?
Like Tom Cruise.
Oh, yes, most definitely. So, I always like to find out from my guests how they got to where they are today, because I think it's very interesting. So, and for those of you who are just listening, Dapo is not an old dude. He is a young man who has accomplished so much already in his life. So, Dapo, tell us a little bit more about how it is that you got to where you are today.
Well, first of all, hi everybody. I'm a young dude. She forgot to add I'm just 29 years old. I'm going to be 30, obviously a few months after this episode drops. But how did I get to where I am in such a short period of time? The story is it's a lot, but obviously I have to start from somewhere. So how did I get to where I am? I'll tell you what, it was so many hours and so many days of just refusing to give up. I know that sounds very cliche, but obviously I was born in Nigeria, born in Africa, and it's a developing country. It's a third world country, and it's played with a lot of challenges. First of all, your parents want you to go to school and study the conventional stuff. They want you to go to school to study engineering or law. They actually, it's quite mandatory for you to go to university and do all that kind of stuff. So that in itself is quite limiting. And as we all know, I mean, no offense to people who do this occupations and stuff like that, but if you really want to make a name for yourself, you're going to have to do something outside of the conventional just going to university, getting and just working the rest of your life, right? And I tell you what, one of my biggest fears was just living a very normal, average life. I mean, because I'm trying as much as possible not to come off offensive, but if you want to get to the kind of level I am, you want to be at the top of your game, you have to really think outside of the box, and you have to push certain boundaries. You have to push, you have to take charge of your narrative, right? So I was born in Nigeria, and then I went to high school, obviously elementary school, and then went to high school there. And I remember one time I came back home from school, and my cousin at the time, so I'm 16, 17-ish. I just finished high school. So I actually didn't live for the UK at 14. That's just a bit of a mistake. I actually left when I was 17.
Okay.
So I get back from from high school, and I see my cousin. So he's done with uni. So he's probably like 11 years older than I am. So he's probably 25, 26. So he gets back, and obviously it's my room. So it's kind of like the boys' room. So he's chilling with me. And I kid you not, Deb, this guy is praying so hard to get a job. Like he you know, he's under so much, obviously, I don't know whether to call it peer pressure, whatever thing it is he was going through. He was just praying so hard, and I felt so bad. So I come from a developing world whereby religion is everything.
Right.
Christianity is the order of the day. It's either you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or you're going to hell.
Right. But yes, religion is very important.
Very important. So obviously all the way back there is a huge deal. So this guy is really, really praying hard to get a job because, you know, it's a developing country. The unemployment rate is through the roof. It's probably like 46% unemployed people. So this guy is really praying, like he doesn't want to be at home. And at the time, I just finished high school. I'm basically seeing somebody 10 years older than me going through a hard time. For me, that represented the fact that if I don't do something about my situation, or if I don't do something different, 10 years from now, I'm going to be praying like this guy. I'm like, I don't want to end up like this guy. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to end up like him. I mean, like, I have no issues praying, but like, if I'm going to pray, let it be about thanking him for what he's done for me, but not begging him to change my faith. So I literally had to take things into my own hands. And that's when the quest for business and the quest for trying to make an extra income online came about. Like, I started buzzing. Prior to that, I was already thinking in that direction, no word of a lie, but that was when I actually really started buzzing. I'm like, I need to do something. And then there's this common cycle everybody goes through. It's even people like in their 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s.
We go through midlife crisis.
Yes. And then this is when you start going on the internet to search how to make money online. That's one of the most searched phrases on Google, right? So obviously I'm a young kid, so I'm going online, I'm searching how to make money online. And then I'm coming across so many different things. And then obviously you come across affiliate marketing, you come across trading Forex, you come across trading stocks and options, probably come across it a couple of times, you get hit with a couple of ads and stuff like that. And then that was kind of like my first encounter with obviously what eventually brought me this far. But one day I'm watching a movie, and then it's this movie called Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. It's by Michael Douglas and Charles Buff. I don't know if you know Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. It's one of the best finance movies out there. As far as I'm concerned, it's better than Wolf of Wall Street, because Wolf of Wall Street is nice, but I mean, like, if you're
cutthroat.
If you're a finance person, you could relate more to Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. So I'm watching the movie with my uncle in the living room, right? And then I see in the movie. So this is the version that was shot in 2010, right after the financial crisis in 2008, where Lehman Brothers went under and where they had to do all the whole bailout and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm watching the movie, and in the movie I see Shia is kind of like a young investment banker, and then his boss, I can't really remember the guy's name, but yeah, Shire basically gets a check of 1.4 million US dollars for his bonus. You know how it goes in Wall Street, right?
Right.
So,
you get lots of money.
exactly. So his bonus comes in for 1.4. So I'm sat on the table, I'm eating. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
So I tell my
holy
uncle,
cow.
holy cow. Could you go back? I want to see the thing. So he goes back and then he clicks pause and I'm seeing 1.4 million US. Are you joking? I'm like, yo, uncle, what does this guy do? And
sign me up.
Exactly, sign me up. Like, what does he do? And then that's exactly how I got to obviously find out that he was kind of like an investment banker slash stockbroker. So my uncle didn't say he was an investment banker because my uncle wasn't that enlightened as well about the whole topic. He just said he was a stockbroker. I'm like, sign me up. So that was kind of like my, that was kind of like the introductory phase into how I got into finance and stuff like that. So once you see somebody make 1.4 million US dollars, right? The thing about life is there's always that one thing that just nudges you in the right direction, right? Once you see somebody make that kind of money, I'm like, if this guy can, it's a movie, but it looks really real. Like if this guy can do it, I want to know. Yeah, I want to know more about this industry, right? I'm 17, like I'm 10th grade, right? 11th grade, something like that, right? So, and then and I start doing my research, and then my auntie comes home, and I'm telling her about this, and she's like, "Yeah, I believe the Nigerian stock market functions because." I'm not thinking like what I'm seeing in TV is happening in Nigeria. I'm not thinking that.
Yeah. I mean, it's America.
It's America, guys. And then she's like, yeah, check it out. It worked. I'm like, it works? Long story short, she basically tells me to check behind the newspaper, and then I check behind the newspaper, and then I realized that at the end of the trading day, there's like quotes from obviously closing prices, and then I'm checking it, and then it occurs to me that my grandfather, who's my absolute hero, every podcast I go on, I have to do a quick shout out to him. May his soul rest in peace. I love him. I miss him so much, so dearly. He was like I don't want to use the word alpha male, but like he was the guy.
Right.
He was a guy, right? He made so much money. He was a real G, but obviously he passed away. So I remember my grandfather having a lot of shares. Like he literally, so this was, I'm talking for what far back as 2011. So 2011, I don't know how things were happening in the US, but back in Nigeria, everything was paper trailed. Like it was paper dividends, paper stock shares.
Right. Yeah, we were online, but not as much.
Exactly. So I think TD Ameritrade and stuff like that were kind of like changing things a bit around that time.
They were kind of the first ones, Vanguard, some of those.
Exactly. So like for us, it was still paper trail. So I remember seeing papers of stocks everywhere in the house. So it just made sense.
Yeah, you used to get, for those real youngsters, you used to get a piece of paper that was a share. Or maybe if you bought 100 euro, but you had a paper that was represented your shares of investing in that company.
Exactly. So I remember seeing a lot of that around the house, and then I picked it up. So I told my auntie, I'm like, hey, daddy's got some of this sheer shit. Like I'm gonna go check it out. So I dashed to his room. So obviously my nan is living in his room now. That's where she stays because obviously. So I get some stuff, and then she's like, all you need to do is do the math, right? Calculate how many units multiplied by the closing price. It
tells you what the value is. Yep.
I did the math, and it turns out that this man had a shit ton of money that nobody knew about.
Just sitting around the house, in essence, right?
Nobody knew about this money. So I'm like, all right, cool. But obviously he's passed away. Everything is in his name. So I'm like, okay.
Now what do we do?
What do we do? And then I remembered my mom always used to tell me, oh, your dividends just got paid into your bank account. Your dividends, this is when I was in high school. So I'm like, all right, cool. Dividends get paid to me. That means I must have some in my name.
Right. Somewhere you've got those pieces of paper.
Exactly. So that was how I stumbled. Obviously, I called my mom up, and then she's like, yeah, you got some. And then long story short, I was able to liquidate it, and it came to about $2,000 US.
Wow. As a 17-year-old, that's quite a bit.
That's some bread. That's some cheddars, man.
Mhm.
That's some money. So I'm like, okay, I got $2,000.
Mhm.
I just watched the movie. I know
Mhm.
nothing about the finance world. What do I do?
Mhm.
And then obviously I start doing my research on the internet. And then okay, so this is exactly how I spend my 2,000, right? So I take a portion of it.
Mhm.
I had this really beat up laptop at the time.
Mhm.
So I use a portion of the money to fix it up and get
Mhm.
the screen sorted out, get a new mouse,
Right,
just so that
because you
everything
needed to be able to have the equipment in
good.
order to be doing the job.
Good, good. It's obviously to invest and trade and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. So now I am officially a finance trader. Like I want to
Mhm.
trade. Like there's nothing anybody's gonna
And you're
tell me.
17.
I'm 17 years old. So I'm literally looking, I'll tell you guys something,
Mhm.
right? So now I'm looking for just want to make sure you can hear me. Just
Mhm.
wait.
Yep, it
All right.
sounds good to me. Mhm.
All right, cool. Okay, cool. So now I'm basically 17 years old. I know nothing about the market, but obviously I need to have some equipment to get into
Mhm.
the market and stuff like that. I kid you not. I'm trying to open a US stock brokerage account, right? That's not happening because you're from a third world country. Like, we don't know
And you're
you.
young. I mean, you they were like your
No
little
one
date probably didn't show up in there.
exactly. So my date exactly. So they're like, nah, not happening. And then I was like, okay, cool. So what do I do next? So I'm just playing around on the internet, and then one guy, he sees me tweeting about the market. I'm literally just talking about the US Treasuries. I'm talking about yield curves. I'm talking about all that. He's like, why are you in Nigeria talking about US Treasuries?
Mhm.
Like, what do you know that I don't know? Because
Mhm.
now all I do every day, all day, is I'm watching Bloomberg. I'm
Mhm.
just watching Bloomberg. I'm watching earning reports.
Mhm.
I'm watching opening bells.
Mhm.
I'm watching closing bells. I don't know if you watch Bloomberg, but I literally used to watch Bloomberg so much I knew everybody, like Trish Reagan, Scarlett Fu.
Mhm.
I knew everybody.
Mhm.
And so yeah, basically I tried to open the US stock brokerage account. It
Mhm.
wasn't happening. And then the guy said, why don't you try something called Forex?
Mhm. Which
Now,
is foreign exchange. Mhm.
foreign
So yeah, I
exchange
know a little
trading.
bit. I know just enough to be
Exactly.
dangerous.
Exactly. So why don't you try Forex? So I'm like, okay, Forex, let's see how we can make this happen. So Forex is sounding a bit complicated to me.
Mhm.
Anyways, I give it a shot.
Mhm.
Now, don't know if you guys are listening to this. I like to believe a significant amount of your audience has stumbled on Forex before, because right now Forex is quite big. You've got a
Mhm.
lot of marketers
Mhm.
pushing it. Everybody's, trying to put
Mhm.
their hands in it. Everybody is trying to look for another way to make some money.
Mhm. Right.
So I'm like, okay, Forex it is. And guess what, guys? I was able to basically create a trading account, like a
Mhm.
Forex trading account. There's so many of them on the internet. And the thing
Mhm.
about Forex brokers is the fact that the barrier to entry is very, very, very low. Like you
Mhm.
can be from God knows where.
Mhm.
You could be
And
from
and
God
a
knows
very
where.
small amount of initial money.
Exactly. So it was perfect for me, like perfect fit for me. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
cool. So this is finally my chance for me to be able to
Mhm.
gamble.
Mhm. And let's be honest, it is a little gambling. Mhm.
It is, and this is exactly why I'm on the show, to basically like educate people and
Mhm.
stuff like that as to how it works and stuff like that. Sorry, my assistant is having a bit of a challenge. Are you good? Sorry.
You actually have a whole team that is there. It's just me on my end. My cat's not even in the room.
But bring it down, hold on. Yeah, turn it to your side.
Well, and as you're doing that, we're talking to you. You're in Dubai. I mean,
Yeah.
this is I've talked to people from around the world. I don't think you're my first guest from Dubai. I think I've had one other guest from Dubai, but I love that we're able to talk with people from around the world, because it's so much fun.
It's amazing. Clyde, is it back on? Let me put it.
Got yours on?
Hold on. No,
We'll
because
get it. We'll get it. I love technology. Sometimes is so much, sometimes it's a
Much of a
challenge.
pain.
Sometimes it's, it doesn't always work, but we got it going. We got it. We got it.
Isn't that too far away? It's zoomed in. Bring, let me help you out. Gotta do everything these days. All right, cool. All right, cool. Turn it around. Shouldn't have to go that far again. So the camera is zoomed in. So he had to take it back. Like,
A little too close. I know.
Yeah.
For you, that's okay. I don't want a zoom. No, because then my age shows, right? So yeah, okay. So you're dabbling in I was going to say FedEx, Forex, and you've been able to set up an account, but like we said, it can be considered gambling to some degree.
To a large extent, it is gambling. I'm not gonna come on here and then pretend like Rosie was great. Nah, it wasn't. So now I've got my account. Put my money in. So I spent like $500 trying to fix my laptop and all that. So I put my money in, and then 1,200 in there. And then I tried to trade a couple of times and I blow all the money. So gone.
Oh no.
Horrible. My inheritance is gone, Deb.
Yikes. Grandpa would not be happy.
Would not be happy. I mean, I was gutted. I was so sad I couldn't tell anybody about it. But I feel like that was kind of like what set me on the path to.
You learned from it. That's the important thing, right?
Exactly. So, I think the most valuable lesson I learned from that was anything you see on the internet that makes it seem like it's too good to be true.
It is.
Probably too good to be true.
Yep.
Probably is too good to be true. Guys, you need to take this from somebody who eventually turned it around, right? I made it work for me, but the way it's been peddled and being sold on the internet isn't exactly how you're supposed to go about it.
Right.
Long story short, what happens is obviously once you blow your first account trading, immediately your brain switches to learning mode. Right. Now you're ready to learn. I tell people that come to meet me, we have an academy, we have a brokerage firm as well. I tell people I don't really like taking on students into my academy until they've blown their first trading account.
Okay.
Because only then are they willing and ready to learn.
Right.
There's nothing I'm going to tell somebody that's got $20,000 that hasn't lost it before. If I tell you, don't trade like this, be more conservative, you're going to lose your money. Like, yeah, all right, cool. I hear you. And there's just this spirit of, I don't know what it's called. It's called greed, actually. It's the spirit of greed. It's just pushing you. And then before you know what's happening, it's gone. So that's exactly how I lost my inheritance. But luckily for me, what I had on my side was age. I mean, I was 17 at the time, like I said, turned 18 so I could open my account. And I realized that, okay, looking, that guy that was crying was 9 years older than I am. I got 9 years to get there, right? So whilst I'm back home, it's time for me to go to university. Like I said earlier, coming from a third world country, they only believe in three things. Either you're a lawyer, doctor, or you're freaking aerospace engineer doing something crazy.
Right. And none of those interested you.
The thing is, as a kid, I actually wanted to be a pilot. I just like flying. I like the idea of flying.
Right.
But now they're telling me, in order for you to fly, you must first do an undergrad degree in aerospace technology. I'm like,
no.
Aerospace tech? I don't know what you're talking about, man. These people, and I can't really blame them. This is the amount of exposure that they had. They were just looking out for me. They wanted the best thing. Because they were telling me at the time, like, what if you start flying, you get diabetic, and then you can't fly anymore? You don't have a degree to fall back on.
Right.
I got it. But I didn't want to study aerospace technology. That was for sure. Right. So long story short, I get I obviously I get admitted into Coventry University in the UK to study aerospace technology. Because they're telling me, like, we're not going to spend by the time my fees were about 12,000 US, 13,000 US. For me to live a comfortable life, it was going to set me back another 10 grand in rent for me to obviously have food to eat. So you're looking at about 30,000 US a year.
Right. And so you were going to study what they said you were going to study.
Exactly. So if they're going to invest, it was a very simple deal, right? If we're going to spend 30 grand a year on your education, you're going to have to go study something.
And you went, okay.
I was like, all right, cool. Then I got my admission. At the time, it was called a CAS letter. So you have to take to the British Embassy, and they have to stamp your passport and all of that. So here I am. I'm about 19 at the time. I've got my admission. I've got my visa. I've got my ticket. Everybody's happy. You know, they like literally half of my family takes me to the airport, wishes me well, like bye. Bye, it's time for you to go. So yeah, so I get to the UK, and first day of, I don't know what's called in the US, but the US is, but in the UK it's called enrollment. You have to go to enroll. You have your so
kind of the pre stuff.
Good, Freshers Week. We call it Freshers Week. So I'm literally on the line, and then I'm supposed to be going to school to study aerospace technology, right? And then I noticed a chemistry professor is coming right behind me. He's got this long ass titration tube. So in chemistry, there's a process called titration, right? So I'm hearing the test tube jingle with the flask, the transparent flask that has the markings on it where they check the acid level and the picking each other, and the guys were. I'm not about to do this for another 4 years. This is not going to happen. I know what I want to do. I know I want to go. I want to be a trader. I want to be a businessman. I actually primarily I want to do business. So yeah, right there, Deb.
Did you change lines?
You got it. You're so spot on. You are so correct. I literally went to the next line.
Now when did you tell everybody back home that you had done this? How long did they have to wait to discover you had changed the plan?
Did you know I had gone 4 years in university. I'd graduated, and then they were like, where's your certificate? I'm like, okay, okay, guys, I got something to tell you. But I'll get to that in a bit. So I want to tell you, like, there's certain things in my life, certain scenarios, certain incidents that happened to me that actually made me work really hard. Because when people hear you're managing 150 mil, it's a ton of money. You're 29 years old. What is that thing that, like,
because we look at it and go, no.
It's not happening. It's impossible to happen. Okay, and so yeah, I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna change my course at this point. Whatever happens. And yeah, that's exactly how I went on to study business management at Coventry Business School. That's exactly how I changed my course, and I started studying business management. Now, when they've spent 30K a year to send you overseas to go get yourself a freaking degree, aerospace technology, and you're doing business management,
they're not going to be happy with you.
They're not going to be happy with you. Now, whatever thing it is you're doing that made you take that risk better be worth a while.
You need to prove them wrong.
Good. So what happens was I get into uni, I'm really, really aggressive. Like, I'm learning my craft. I'm trying out every single trading strategy there is. I'm doing everything I possibly can do just to ensure that, you know, I come out on top. And, you know, like they say, like, once there's a need, once there's a necessity.
Right. You will do it.
Innovation. Exactly. So that was exactly how I was able to persevere. But don't get me wrong, guys, it was a very dark path.
Mhm.
Anything that has to do with financial trading, you'll doubt yourself, you
Mhm.
lose more money,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But for me, I think what the changing point for me was, what the turning point for me was in the market was, I was fortunate enough so I went to school in Coventry. Coventry is 55 minutes from London, right?
Okay.
So I was fortunate enough because I've been watching Bloomberg most of my time
Mhm.
back in Nigeria. So I knew the entire street of Canary Wharf, which is
Mhm.
the financial
Mhm.
district
In
of
London. Mhm.
London. Exactly. So I'm like literally, when I get there, the first thing I do is go to Starbucks. Because in Nigeria, there's no Starbucks. But I'm
Right.
seeing this on TV drinking Starbucks.
Mhm.
I'm like, maybe it's the damn Starbucks making this.
Mhm. Mhm.
You must
That's the key. Mhm.
be the damn cappuccino.
Mhm.
So I go straight to Starbucks. So every time I have some time, I go from uni to Canary Wharf,
Mhm.
sit in the cafe, Starbucks cafe, and I'm trying to do stuff out with my cappuccino, right?
Mhm.
So fortunate enough to stumble on a very top trader at the time.
Mhm.
And he pretty much changed my faith, and he just showed me like all these things you have on your charts.
Mhm.
You're approaching it from a gambling perspective.
Mhm.
To summarize everything,
Mhm.
trading is about growing your capital. If
Mhm.
you come into the industry with a mindset of trying to flip an account, you will
Mhm.
lose all of your
Right.
money.
Because
And
gambling is not the way to be doing it.
there's actually a very thin line between
Mhm.
trading and gambling
Mhm.
called
Right.
risk management.
Mhm.
Yeah. So gambling, when you go to the casino, the odds are stacked in the
The
casino's favor.
house always wins. Mhm.
Good. But the difference is the market, because of the fact that you have access to what they call technical analysis,
Mhm.
fundamental analysis, you can, you're in a better position to predict and project
Mhm.
what's going to
Mhm.
happen next. So, and even when you are very good, and this thing comes with time as well. Like
Mhm.
I'm 29, but I started trading at 17. That makes
Mhm.
me what, 12 years in the game. I've
Mhm.
been doing this for 12. I might look
Mhm.
really young, but I've been doing this for
Mhm.
12 years, right? So it's only, but people think that they can come into the game and then it can change their faith
Mhm.
overnight, right?
Right.
Don't worry, guys. I've got on my academy, I've got literally a fantastic course whereby I've put 12 years worth of experience just for you guys, just because
Mhm.
Deb asked for. So I'll drop you guys a link. You guys go check
Mhm.
it out, right? So yeah. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So long story short, I'm like, you know what? Thank you. I tell the guy, thank you very much. So he pretty much puts me on game. He tells me,
Mhm.
go back to Coventry. You can't take $500 to $50,000. It's not gonna work.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. You
Mhm.
have to have at least 20,000, ten
Mhm.
thousand, and you should look towards making 5 to 10%
Mhm.
monthly. If you can make 5% monthly at the
Mhm.
end of the year, that's 60%.
Right.
You have outperformed
Mhm.
the S&P
Mhm.
500. You've done 5 years return of what the S&P 500 has
Mhm.
done in
Right.
1 year.
Mhm.
You
But you
just
were more
did it,
conservative. You weren't gambling.
all of that, right?
Mhm.
So that kind of like shaped my mentality, and he taught
Mhm.
me an approach called the higher time frame approach. So basically, there's an approach that obviously I learned from him, and then I went to go
Mhm.
refine my own thing and everything that I've learned. So done with him now. Now I'm on my own, doing my
Mhm.
own thing, and I was able to discover an approach called the top-down analysis
Mhm.
in the market. So it's very simple and straightforward, right?
Mhm.
So the problem with most traders is they're too zoomed in on the lower time frame. Like they're looking at the daily price movements,
Right.
like what's happening
What have we
today.
done
That's what you
now?
see.
Now.
What's happening.
Mhm.
That's what you can't really blame them, because that's what they see on TV. That's
Right.
what they see on YouTube. That's
Mhm.
what they see all the
Mhm.
gurus and the influencers
Mhm.
doing, right? They got a lot of screens in front of them, and then they're
Mhm.
looking at the click buy now, click sell, blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
So that's not the way to go about it, because what
Mhm.
tends to happen is you are subject to what they call market manipulation.
Right.
There's no, there's no clarity to things. You're
Mhm.
neither here not there. You
Mhm.
make 1,000 in the morning, you're down 4K by evening. The next
Mhm.
day you're up to up K, and by the end of the week you're probably negative 800
Right.
US dollars. The
And
whole
somewhere
week,
in there, you got an ulcer.
yeah, exactly. And your blood pressure is through the
Mhm.
freaking, right?
Mhm.
So I had to take a step back and actually look at
Mhm.
things. I'm like, how do the banks do this?
Mhm.
Okay? So I started to read a lot more reports from analysts, and I found out that they do what they call a top-down analysis. Okay,
Mm.
so they don't really do it, but like I use the strategy to add to mine.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I discovered. Everybody, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, right? So there's an approach called the top-down analysis. So it's basically when you go on the high time frames and you look at the overall picture of what exactly is going on. Now, because you're looking at the bigger picture, you're less subject to all the little fake outs and all the things that go on a lower time frame, right? So you're able to see things from a bigger time frame perspective. Now, Warren Buffett will be the first person to tell you that, you don't want to go in today and come out tomorrow. If you get into a financial product, you want to actually get it and hold it, allow, because the market is dynamic. It goes up, it must come back down before it goes back. So you want to expand your horizon when it comes to trading, and then you want to hold for longer periods of time. So that was pretty much what solidified my trading strategy. And the thing about the markets and the industry that I work in is once people find out that you can make money on money, everybody wants a piece of you. Right. So obviously I got really active on YouTube, started putting out, and because of the fact that my approach was now so profitable, I was doing a lot more live broadcasts, I was doing more free tutorials, I was doing more YouTube videos, and then investors started to stumble on me, and the rest is history. And before I knew what was happening, I was on a private jet to some Arab country, and they're offering me $50 million to manage, and then they opted up to 150, and literally my life changed. And that's exactly how your life changes. So I feel like the moral of the story is whatever thing it is you're doing, you just want to stick to it and just be really good at it. And don't forget to advertise your products. Now, obviously, this Power Hour, we're talking business, not just trading. I just want to throw that in there. Put yourself out there, man. I mean, you agreed to do the podcast with me because I check out, right? I check out, right? I've got my stuff everywhere. So I don't care if you're into gardening. I don't care if you're into laundry services, you're into landscaping. Get your phone out. Put the
We're not psychic. You got to give us the information.
Exactly. So you got to put your stuff out there. So that's exactly how, my life changed. Obviously, there are a lot of other things that happen. And another thing that so 3 things that shaped my life was obviously the first guy, I was crying in my house, praying a lot. Second thing was I go to the UK and then I have to do something with my life. And then something else, which is actually even before this too, was my grandfather he was the guy, like I said. And as a young kid, I forgot to mention that my grandfather was quite comfortable. So I do come from a comfortable background. So he was one of the privileged few who obviously made a substantial amount of money. And hanging around with him, like I was his favorite grandchild, right? Not favorite grandchild because my cousins are going to watch this, but like at the time I was his only grandkid, and all my uncles and aunties were all grown up and out of the house. It was just me.
It was just you, right?
You know what I mean? I mean, you get what I mean? Like you have that grandkid, it's just you, the grandkid, until the rest of the 7, 8, 9 of them come along, right? So it was just me and him, and I was privileged to be with him, to witness a couple of very, very impactful conversations because he's an influential man. This is an influential man who, is in politics, government, and then you got military generals coming to the house. You've got you've got very wealthy men coming to the house, and then they're talking about things at a very high level. I kid you not, Deb, one day I'm in the house, I'm on the dining table. Don't know why I'm always on the dining table, because I'm a kid, so you can't really stay in the living room where all the adults are chilling. So stay on the dining table, pretend you're doing something serious, pretend you're eating, and then you can listen.
But you're listening.
Good. So I'm just chilling, and then my granddad literally had a friend who owned an airline. And I think the airline kind of like collapsed or folded up or whatever the case may be. But this is how the conversation goes. I kid you not, Deb. His name is Uncle Tony. So Uncle Tony comes to, I'm like, oh, how's it going? So they sit down and they're talking. So my granddad's like, Tony, how's it going? How's everything? He was like, I'm not too happy, Uche. I'm not too happy. And my granddad goes like, what's the problem? Like, why are you not happy? And he goes, my airline that I told you about? He's like, yeah, like, how's that going? He's like, can you believe I lost $12 million on that? My granddad's like, $12 million? Nah, I'm sorry, man. Don't worry, you make it back. I'm sat in the living room with a guy who owns an airline and just lost
Right.
12 million US dollars. I'm 9 years old, Deb.
Mhm.
And
And it
I'm right.
was, yeah, it was not the end of the world.
It wasn't the end of the world. First of all, this guy's he just lost 12 mil. So at a very early stage in my life, my brain started to open up. This is why you
Right.
see, this is why you see kids from the rich zip codes still they keep being rich.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
they
because that's their mindset. I mean, that's just what they're
good,
used to.
good because they're exposed to these kind of figures at a very early age. So this is why I'm able to walk into meetings and I'm able to say, yeah, 50 mil is not a problem. Like 50 mil is not a problem because
Right.
half the time I'm with my granddad and then I'm hearing all kinds of figures. I'm actually hearing all kinds of mils and mils and mils and mils and mils, you know. So like to me, it's nothing. Like it's absolutely so I feel like that was kind of like the catalyst as a kid that made me realize that, yo, listen, this is achievable, this is obtainable, you know, and all that. So if you are not born into that kind of background, if you're listening to this and you want to obviously be able to open your mind, because guys, your mind, see, you can only dream as big as your mind can imagine. Yeah, you have to see it to believe it, to dream it. You have to know it to exactly. So even after he passed away, even while because he left me when I was 12, so I needed like a mentor, some sort. Obviously, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm gonna talk about like my own little mentor who shaped my life as well. He's a guy called Grant Cardone. I don't know if you guys listen to, if you know about a guy called Grant Cardone. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of Grant Cardone videos, you know, and this is when I just finished university and I was trying to navigate my way. I had a skill, but I didn't know how to really blow it up, right? So Grant Cardone, he's bought 3 different aircrafts, right? He's got the G200, but a G550, but a G650ER. He's got 2 helicopters. He bought 12 million US dollars each. So I'm consuming this guy's content day in, day out. And it literally opened. This was maybe like 6 years ago, open my mind. So if you're listening to this and you want to, maybe you didn't have the opportunity to grow up in an expensive zip code, you didn't have a granddad like my granddad, who's Uncle Uche, and he's got his friend Uncle Tony, go on YouTube and watch.
Right.
Don't
find
shy
your
away.
own mentors.
Yeah, don't shy away. Don't shy away from the flashy stuff on the internet. Go watch it. Watch the guy. Watch what he has to say. There's a problem with people on the internet. When they see really expensive and flashy stuff, instead of them, it's just natural hate around it. You don't need
They're
that.
jealous.
They're jealous. Like you will never achieve. See, guys, it's a fact. You will never achieve things that you hate on.
Right.
Because your mind automatically shuts it down. So I don't care if the guy's bullshitting. I kid you not. I've come across a lot of people that used to. I have an uncle of mine. Yeah, my mom's brother. The guy used to talk the talk, like he talks the talk. He talks millions and millions and millions of US dollars. He's probably gonna watch this. I love him. We don't talk anymore because obviously he did something that wasn't too bad. But I still love him anyways if he watches this. But he literally also helped shape my life as well, because he used to talk high figures because he's my granddad's son, right?
Right. So he had learned.
But he didn't have the millions, but he always spoke about the millions. He told me stories about the millions, but he didn't make the millions. Well, not yet. But I took his stories verbatim, right? I took it like it was real. And I made it my reality, and I went on my journey to go make his stories a reality. So even if the person is talking rubbish, listen, absorb it, get around people that are fluent. Please, it is anything you're gonna.
You did that with a movie. I mean, you know, with a fictional character. You looked at that and you thought, I can do that. I mean, it didn't matter that it was a fictional character. You know, and so I love that. It comes back to what you said. It's your mindset. You know, if you think I can, your mind is going to put you where you're going to be. If you think, I can't do that, that's scary, then That's exactly what happens. If you look at it and say 50 million, nah, got to be 150. Then then that's what happens, and but you have to make it happen. I mean, it's not poof just going to happen. And that's that's the other thing I'm getting from what you're saying is hard work. It was not overnight success. People, and I think that's one of the things that people, when they invest, and you kind of have mentioned this, they immediately assume, I'm going to invest my $500 and get 50,000 right away. No, it doesn't work that way, folks. The people, it's always very interesting here in the States when we have the Mega Millions jackpot gambling thingy. Lottery, that's the word I was looking for. And it's sad when there are people who buy lottery tickets as part of their financial planning, right? You're not going to win, folks. I mean, I have a great time when I go to Las Vegas. I take my little $100. I have my little budget, right? And I play for as long as my $100 takes me. Sometimes I play for a long time. Sometimes I win and I'm good. But I also know that I'm not going to put it in and immediately hit the big jackpot. It just doesn't happen that way.
Doesn't happen that way. So yeah, I just hope people, but the thing is, you know what I realized them in life? Gambling is kind of like, it's part of society, man. It's unfortunate. People
we gamble with everything, right?
Yeah, let alone money. So I mean, that was pretty much it. And then I live in an amazing country now. I live in the UAE. It's tax-free as well. So if you ever wanted to make some good money and wanted to keep all of your faith, you can come out to Dubai, and stuff like that. So, I mean, recently we've launched Willis University, whereby, I mean, I'm just 29 years old, but you can tell my journey has been quite extensive. So, and I like to speak. I like to talk. I feel like, and that's another thing that I discovered as well. I had the ability to have conversations and speak. So your blessing might not necessarily come from a business. It might come from a skill that you have.
Right.
Even if you don't have a skill, you need to go learn one. Let me also I don't know how much time you have left, but I just want to throw.
We've got about 15 minutes, so we're doing good.
All right, cool. All right, guys. So I'm going to tell you guys something, right? It's a little game. You need to get a skill you can monetize at the highest level. So 150 mil for me is because I have a skill, which is trading, right? Not a lot of people know how to trade profitably. So ideally, I'm maximizing it to the max, right? I don't know what thing it is you're good at. I figured out that I was pretty good at speaking in front of people. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put the camera on. So luckily for me, so naturally I could speak. Trading is something I had to learn. So I just said to myself, like, okay, cool. If I could, okay, cool. All right. If I put this is what I learned from my mentor on the internet, which is Grant Cardone. If you have a skill and you can speak and you can convince people, you can go really far. Right. So guys, if you have a skill, just put some digital marketing to it, right? It doesn't have to be speaking. It can be cooking. It can be, like I was saying, it can be landscaping. Whatever thing it is you're good at, you need to carve that niche out and start promotion. We're about to launch.
You're speaking my language.
Promote, like I would never mize $1 when it comes to promotion. We would do the craziest ad campaigns when it comes to promotion. We're literally about to launch a brokerage, actually not a brokerage, something called a prop firm. So a prop firm is basically where, so usually, like I told you at the beginning, I had to invest my money into my trading account. But with a prop firm, you don't need to. So now you use our money to trade, but you need to be able to prove to us that you are a profitable trader. So you just come in. It's like a skill check. You probably pay for a skill check for about $99 or $100, $200, and then you have access to a skill check account of 20,000. So if you pass the 2 phases of the skill check, and we give you 20K to trade. So instead of you gambling your own money, we decided to say, okay, let's put you through two different hurdles,
Mhm.
right? If you can pass this, that means you're a decent trader. Here
Mhm.
you got 20 grand. So you no longer have to get 20 grand to invest
Mhm.
in the market anymore. Willis Capital is here to
Mhm.
help you out with that. So as you
Mhm.
can see, I'm wearing my hoodie, promotion.
I know, brand new, brand new. Mhm.
Check me out, brand new. And aside from Willis Capital, we've also got Willis University as well.
Mhm.
Like I was saying, my journey is quite extensive.
Mhm.
I have seen a lot of things, done a lot of
Mhm.
things. So like, you know what? And I like to teach. So we opened
Mhm.
up Willis University. And like I was saying, all my trading knowledge, I
Mhm.
have 12 years worth of trial
Mhm.
and error and perfecting it and
Mhm.
making a lot of money. I compressed 12 years worth of trading
Mhm.
experience into what they call the Forex Mastery Program. I'm going to
Mhm.
put links around
Mhm.
here for you. So you guys go grab it. So you don't need to go through 12 years of knowing or not knowing.
Mhm.
Literally, you get to, I cut your learning curve. What's
Mhm.
going to take you 12 years to learn,
Mhm.
you learn it in 3 weeks, literally.
Mhm.
So we have the educational
Mhm.
platform and we also have the trading platform. We
Mhm.
want the traders to succeed. I'm doing
Right.
things the way I wish it was done for me back
Mhm.
then. It took me so long. I cried. Like I gambled on my future, and you
Mhm.
imagine how scary that was.
Right.
So now that I've figured things out and I've
Mhm.
decided to do things properly, not only am I just
Mhm.
giving people a platform, say, yeah,
Mhm.
go trade and ruin your life. No, we're doing skill checks
Mhm.
just for a little fee,
Right.
and then have access to a lot of
Mhm.
money. We're giving you guys the very best education. I feel
Mhm.
like this is my contribution to the
Mhm.
financial trading
Mhm.
world. What do you think about that, Deb? What do you think?
I,
Over to you. What do you think?
I love it because it's you're giving back. I mean, I think that is the biggest thing. And I had an interesting discussion with somebody earlier today about that, about how important it is to give back. Because when the people that you help are successful,
Yeah,
it makes you successful. But but you're not doing it for that. You're doing it to help them. Like you said, it's too bad this wasn't around to help you, but it's so good that you are using your skills and your knowledge to help others. And because it's when one is, when we're all successful, we are all successful, right?
absolutely.
And I think that's the important thing, is to, how can we do that? And and I love that you've put all this together, and we'll put links in the show notes so that people can see all of that. But it is, it's and of course, what I've been thinking about this whole time is, we talked there for a little bit about finding your mentor. I think people really need to, think, hey, oh my gosh, Dapo is a mentor. That's, and that's, with yeah, I mean, and we do need that, right? When we get ourselves good mentors,
Life changing
yeah,
stuff.
and we're not, when I was in business a long time before I got mentors, because I was smart. I didn't
Mm.
need anybody helping me. No, I needed those people who in some cases were telling me, "Hey, you idiot." you know?
Yeah,
But yeah, we all need mentors, and more importantly, we need to be mentors to others. And that's exactly what you're doing with this. I think that's, to me, that is the biggest
thank you.
takeaway, is that, how can you help others? And that's what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Deb. I'm blushing actually.
I
So
love it.
I've got a YouTube
Mhm.
channel,
Mhm.
two YouTube channels.
Mhm.
So we've got the YouTube channel, which is more educational. We've got the
Mhm.
YouTube channel, which is more lifestyle. So we actually just
Mhm.
recording content for that just yesterday. So I'm going to obviously send all my
Mhm.
links. You guys go ahead. I'm
Yep.
everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I've got about 80,000 Instagram followers. I've
Mhm.
got 120,000 YouTube
Mhm.
subscribers. I've got maybe about 80 something thousand Twitter. I'm big
Mhm.
like on all the platforms. So you
Mhm.
can find me. Just go Dapo Willis. You follow me
Mhm.
on Instagram,
Mhm.
YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Claddy, do we do TikToks? Not that much. We're getting there. We're getting to
See,
TikTok.
I'm old. I don't do TikTok. And actually it's more, there are those that because I'm like squirrel. So I know I would go down those rabbit holes and never come back out. So my brain says I need to do this. But there's so many platforms and things out there. I still am
There's
just
no
amazed.
excuse not to be known in the
Mhm.
in
This
this
is
generation.
true. Yeah. If somebody says we couldn't find you, that's your fault.
That's your fault. Definitely, I agree.
Mhm.
I definitely agree.
Mhm.
Anyways, Deb, so at the end of the day, like it was amazing catching up with you as
Yeah.
always. It's pretty late
So
Dubai time.
yeah. So tell us,
Mm,
what is your website
mm.
or websites?
Sorry. Need
And
some
what are
water.
the, you've
I
talked
got
about the
some water.
services, but we
I
want
got
to
some water
make sure
for you,
everybody
Deb.
knows this.
You want some water?
Yeah, see, here we go. I got mine. Got my water. Thank you.
All right, cool. So you guys want to find out about me, want to check me out. Depends on how you want to check me out.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It
Mhm.
gives how you want to
Uh-huh.
check me
Yep,
out.
yep.
If you
Mhm.
think I'm cute, you can check my Instagram
That's
out.
different. That's a different program.
Yeah, that's a different program. But if you think I'm smart and you want to
Mhm.
find out about my trading
Mhm.
skills, I suggest you grab the Forex Mastery program. The link is going to be obviously in the
Mhm.
wherever it is Deb
Mhm.
decides to put it.
Mhm.
So they're going to put the Forex Mastery program right about
Mhm.
there. Ensure to grab it and change your
Mhm.
trading. If you know nothing about trading, that will really help you. I
Mhm.
like to break things down into baby steps. Get
Mhm.
the course. It is literally so inexpensive.
Mhm.
So that's for the educational
Mhm.
stuff. And then for more educational stuff as well, there's the YouTube channel called
Mhm.
Learn Forex with Dapo.
Mhm.
Obviously, the link is going to be down there as well.
Yep.
Or if you just want to see me flex on the private jet and go
Mhm.
to different resorts and drive fast cars in Dubai,
Mhm.
we've got another YouTube channel for all the flexing too.
Yeah, back to talking about being jealous. Yep.
But don't worry, I've been on the internet long enough to handle haters, man. It is what the thing is. I tell you one thing about haters, right?
Mhm.
Every time I find somebody hating on me on the internet, I just go to the profile picture,
Mhm.
and when I look at them, you realize that they're not really up to much. It is
Right.
more of it's
Mhm.
more of a coping mechanism
Mhm.
for them. So,
Mhm.
I mean, you have two choices: you can either hate or you can
Mhm.
actually get up your ass and actually do
Right.
something with your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haters are going to hate. And so we ignore them. Right.
Potatoes are gonna potate.
Yeah. It's like, I really don't care if if there's something that somebody doesn't like about me, well, too bad, so sad. And I'm on to the next thing. Right.
On to the next
Usually.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, just be yourself, guys. So
Mhm.
put yourself on the internet,
Mhm.
go make yourself some money. I don't know, maybe Deb, maybe we should catch up another time. Maybe we should do more like a marketing.
I know. We need to do this again because
Yeah.
this was so much fun. I love it.
So I think this is more of the finance one. Maybe
Mhm.
we should do one for marketing, like
Yes, because
how
that's
to blow up your
my
game.
field. Uh-huh. Yeah, we
Yeah.
could really have a great conversation about that.
Let's book something with Deb again. Let's
Mhm.
do something
Yeah,
next
we'll do
year.
something after the first of the year. So that'll be perfect. I
Yeah.
love
So
it. Yep.
depends on how well this one does. I know it's going to do well, but
Oh,
like
it'll
let's
do
come back with
fabulous. It'll
something.
do fabulous.
So we've done
So
finance, they will do
mhm,
marketing,
mhm,
and then we can even do like they just do as many
we'll
as
do, yeah, because this has been a great conversation, and I hope people have had as much fun listening to it as we've had chatting about it. It's been great fun. But yeah, I guess
hopefully.
we do need to wrap up. So, are
Yeah.
there any final thoughts that you want to leave everyone with?
I always have too many final thoughts. There's a problem. You ask me that question, Deb, I can go on for 15 minutes again. But yeah, let's wrap it up. What's some final thoughts? Um, guys, I've had so many doors shut on me over my entire life. I haven't been here for a very long time, but I've had so many doors shut on me. But one thing I can tell you was every time I tried to push a particular door and it just kept getting shut on me, the time just wasn't the right time. I realized that when a similar door opened for me, it was even a better opportunity. I give you an example. When I wanted to go to the UK as a kid, the first time I went to the embassy, I wasn't given a visa. When I eventually got a visa to go, I actually had a family member in the city at the time. Now, when I eventually went, I found out that if I'd gone in April when I actually wanted to go, there was no way I was going to be able to survive the city.
Mhm.
No way. That and many other things that have happened, right? staying back in the UK. I just came out here for summer and I wanted to go back, and for the winter I just couldn't fly back, and then I was just stressed out, and I just ended up staying here and just ended up making a lot of money. So if there's anything I'm going to leave you guys with, is if it's not working out right now, just give you a bit more time. Just keep chipping at it. Just chipping away, keep chipping away. And then when it eventually does happen, it will be 1 million times better than what you actually wanted in the first place. Like, I literally want to buy a new car now. I've been looking at it. And my mom has this saying, right? She says, good things never run out in the market. There's never a shortage of good things. So don't take out a credit card debt just because you want to buy that expensive thing. Wait till you know the time is right before you go get it, because there's always gonna be a newer version. When it is your time, you're going to get the best. So wait it out, relax, chill, and listen to them. You heard it here first on Power Hour.
Oh my gosh, Dapo, this has been so much fun. Well, I am Deb Creer with the Business Power Hour, having so much fun talking with Dapo Willis. And until we talk again, we're going to have a great time. But until next time, everyone have a great day.
Tune in for our next program for even more trends, best practices, and techniques for how to make your business a success. The Business Power Hour, hosted by Deb Creer, is proud to be part of the C-Suite Network.